Hi, I'm Robin Schultz with the Hoover channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you'll always know when we have a new video coming up.
Good evening, everyone. If I could have your attention, good evening. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. On behalf of the three co-hosts, the Shelby County Chamber of Commerce, and you all know Kirk Manser in the back, President and CEO, the Shelby County reporter, Mr. Alec Etheredge, who you'll hear from a little later. He's our president and publisher of that organization, and then yours truly, Nan Baldwin, the Hoover Area Chamber of Commerce. We welcome you tonight to this municipal candidate forum. All three organizations are nonpartisan organizations, and we're proud to co-host this important event for these candidates to share their platforms with you. With the municipal elections just right around the corner, weeks away on August 26th, we're grateful for this opportunity to hear directly from the candidates seeking to serve our great city of Hoover, both city council candidates as well as the mayoral candidates. I'd like to thank each of you for being here tonight and for taking the time to engage in this vital part of the democratic process. Your presence is a testament to the strength of our community, each of you out there tonight, and the value we place in an informed civic participation. I want to express my sincere appreciation to members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the Alpha Beta Psi Omega chapter, and especially to their chapter president, Ms. Brooke Adams, for graciously serving as our greeters this evening. We also are deeply grateful to Mr. Alec Etheredge of the Shelby County Reporter, who has generously agreed to serve as tonight's moderator. To the candidates, thank you for your willingness to serve and for your participation. And once again, thank each of you all for joining us. We look forward to a respectful and an informative discussion tonight. Thank you.
One job tonight, and that's to not mess up the PowerPoint behind us. So we'll see if I can make it a couple minutes in before that happens. But thank y'all for being here tonight. I see a pretty full room, which is awesome to see. Municipal elections, and it's the staple of the community. And we look at presidential elections and how much traction they get, the voter turnout. But your municipalities are the ones that are impacting your daily life more than you realize a lot of times. So it's great to see a full room here tonight. We're excited to be able to put this on. It's going to be also shared in video format as well. But thank you, Nan, for being a part of this. We appreciate that. I want to welcome to the forum the individuals who are seeking to serve on the city council and as mayor for the city of Hoover. I am Alec Etheredge, publisher and president of Shelby County Newsmedia. We produce the Shelby County Reporter, Hoover's Magazine, Shelby Living Magazine, and the 280 Reporter as well. Also a proud graduate of Spain Park High School. Still have two parents living in the city of Hoover, so excited to see how this night goes and what we learn about each of our candidates. We're pleased to be co-hosting tonight's Candidates Forum with the Hoover Area Chamber and the Shelby County Chamber as well. Also thankful to Jeff State for opening their doors to us tonight and giving us this opportunity to put this forum on as well. On behalf of our co-hosts, we hope that you do find this program both interesting and informative tonight, and we're pleased that you could be with us to be able to participate. All of the candidates seeking election for Hoover's civic leadership are invited to participate in tonight's forum. And to begin tonight's forum, we're going to hear from the candidates running for City Council Place 1. At this time, I'd like to invite the candidates for Place 1 to come to the stage. And as they're coming to the stage, I'm going to explain the format for this portion of tonight's forum. Each candidate in alphabetical order by last name will have 3 minutes to share why they are running for their position. After each candidate has spoken, they will then have an opportunity to make a closing statement that will not exceed 2 minutes. Josh Patton, a Hoover Area Chamber Ambassador and Comparian Insurance Agent, will act as our timekeeper and provide each of the candidates with a countdown during their comments by holding up a card indicating the time remaining. Now we're going to begin with our statements, and we're going to start with Tanveer Patel, who is going to kick off the night for us. And so, Tanveer, I'll turn it over to you, and you can give your statement.
Good evening, Hoover. I am Tanveer Patel. 24 years in this city. This has been my home, where I raised 2 boys, both of them through the Hoover school system. One of them is raising his family here. The other is in New York working for a very big company. And I want him back. So I'm running for city council because I care about the next generation. I want that irresistible tomorrow's talent here in Hoover. Your kids and your grandkids. As a tech entrepreneur, I am a problem solver, not just solving today's problems, but the vision for the future, which starts today. I've served as the president of the Birmingham Venture Club, and the Venture Club which brings in investments, jobs, which creates the local economy. I currently serve on the board of the FBI Citizens Academy, and I'm very passionate about the law enforcement. I also serving currently as an advisory board for UAB's School of Health Professionals, which is top rank in the nation. I've also co-founded the Red Crescent Clinic of Alabama right here in Hoover. To do all of this, I need to be transparent to stakeholders. And transparency is not a nice to have, it is a must have. Recognized as the top 100 influential thinkers in United States, I am committed to service, for which I was recognized as the woman who shapes the state of Alabama. These are just the highlights. But what I want to do is I want to bring all those experiences to our city, to my city. Transparency, public safety, infrastructure, and traffic. All this is basic 101. It's quality of life. There is no compromise in them. So I want to do more than the basics. When education thrives, business booms. When business booms, education thrives. This is one journey to prosperity. Our children achieve 93% graduation rate. That's excellent. But excellent is not enough. Excellent is a starting point. It is not a destination. We need schools that teach coding and character. We need schools that build spirit and skills. We need schools that are going to prepare our children not for the jobs of today, but the careers of tomorrow, which is all AI. Businesses that boom. There are 4,500 businesses with 50,000 jobs today, but we can do better. We can do better. When others see obstacles, I see opportunities. When others say no, I ask why not? Why not? When we cut the red tapes, and we will cut the red tapes, we are going to free and thrive our businesses. Great schools create great workers. Great workers, what do they do? What do they do? They create great businesses, and great businesses fund great schools. When we are strengthen.
Reach the time limit for the first 3 minutes, and we'll have a chance here in just a second to finish with the closing statement, the final two.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we invite Robin Schultz to the stage to make his opening statement.
Hello, my name is Robin Schultz. I'm running for Hoover City Council, Place 1. As a 36-year resident of Hoover that has been actively involved in my community, over the last few years we've encountered one thing. You're going to hear one word in common for everybody here today, and that is the word transparency. We recently did a poll, and the number one concern in the city of Hoover today is transparency and accountability. 3 years ago, we lost some transparency in the city of Hoover when the city council and the administration decided to stop streaming council meetings. Now, a lot of people are going to talk about transparency. I decided to walk the walk. I wanted to see those council meetings. On August the 1st, 2022, I discovered that the meetings were gone, and I founded at that point the Hoover channel. We found the deleted videos. They deleted every video that had been recorded since 2017. We found them. In the IT business, nothing's ever gone, okay, on the internet. We found it, we downloaded every video, then we uploaded it to our channel. Now they belong to us, the people, not to the city. And in 2023, we began to live stream the meetings. Tonight, this meeting right here is being recorded, and tonight at 10 o'clock, you'll be able to watch it on the Hoover channel, every bit of it. And that is something that I'm committed to do even after being elected. I'm committed to continuing to make sure that we will always have access, because transparency is not just a buzzword, it's accountability. It's the ability for you to be able to access those people that you elected. It's the ability for you to be able to see not only the how, but also the why, as to why things are happening. And that is the one thing that we're going to bring. We're committed to making sure that we continue to be accountable and transparent. Also, I have worked with Hoover City Schools for the last 16 years, being at most board meetings, being at having a relationship with the superintendent, with the board, and board members. I've met a lot of them. I've talked to a lot of them. We have an outstanding school system in Hoover. We need to keep it that way. We need to keep it that way. We need to make sure that all the funding that we can get remains in Hoover.
Perfect. Thank you. So now we'll move on to the closing statements, which were determined by drawing before the candidates both came on stage. In that order, we'll start with Robin Schultz, followed by Tanveer Patel.
Should get me for another 2 minutes. So we talked about transparency. What was the number 2 thing that people were concerned about? Obviously schools. We've talked about that. Number 3, public safety. People moved to Hoover for 2 reasons. They moved to Hoover for the schools, they moved to Hoover for public safety. We have one of the finest police departments in the state. We have one of the finest fire departments in the state. There's no question about it. It needs to remain that way. We need to make sure that we, the council members, adequately fund the police department and the fire department, and adequately fund the schools. Because as all 3 go, as the schools go, as the fire department goes, as the police department goes, so goes Hoover. And we need to make sure that remains that way. Finally, we need to talk about being good stewards of the taxpayer money. Okay? We need to make sure that we practice, not just talk about, but practice fiscal responsibility. We need to make sure that every dollar is accounted for, but even more, it goes back to the first point. You need to know where the money goes. We had $400,000 in one particular fund this year that we don't know where it went. Okay? You deserve to know. You deserve to know the answers. And that is the one thing that I've been fighting for since 2006, and that's something that I'm going to continue fighting for when elected. Thank you very much. I'm Robin Schultz, Hoover City Council, Place 1.
Thank you, Robin. We'll now invite Ms. Patel back to the stage to share her closing statement.
Leadership to me is about listening and making sure that all voices are heard. What are the things, qualities that you look for when you're in a city council? I make well-informed decisions. I have good negotiation skills. I don't maintain or question status quo. I create transformation. Business that booms, roads that move, safety that stands tall, transparency, AI-driven transparency. Get your answers from your living room while you're sitting on your couch. Talk to your government. Those are the transformations that I would like to bring to the city. If you get a chance, please go to my Facebook page. I have detailed videos on the plans on implementation. How are we going to do it? Do you want your schools to be thriving? Do you want your businesses to be booming? Do you? Yes. Yes, I do too. So please don't forget to vote for me on August 26th. And I look forward to seeing you at the polls. Thank you.
Thank you again to both of our Place 1 candidates. Now we will move on to our opening statements. Place 2, so I'll invite our Place 2 candidates to the stage at this time. We will start our Place 2 opening statements with Clint Bircheat.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Clint Bircheat. It's not phonetical. I'll take anything close. It's been wrong my whole life. It is what it is. It's all right. It's okay. I'll take anything new. But I am running for Council Place 2. It's a crowded run, as you can see, and a lot of great candidates, not just in this seat, but the others. Thank you for both chambers and the Shelby County Newsmedia for putting this on tonight. We appreciate all the hard work, especially by you ladies in the back, for doing all that you do and representing our community so well, not just Hoover, but all the communities that you do this for. So I want to take a minute to tell you my campaign slogan is 2 cents for common sense government. What does that mean? The opinion of someone is worth 2 cents, they say. And a buddy of mine said, what is your 2 cents on government? What is happening? What's going on? And I said, it's simple. We've lost common sense. And in 1776, Thomas Paine wrote that book, Common Sense, and published it to the American people. Said, he looks around at government, I don't understand what's going on, it doesn't make sense for us to be under the stewardship of the King of England, we need a revolution to change things. And when I look today in our government and the way things are going, I don't understand why it works the way it works, and why we have some of the problems that we have. So, let's bring common sense back to government. I don't get how you can function as a team, be it in sports, a government, a church, a civic organization. We have so much fighting, bitterness, heel-napping, public and private attacks as we have. You cannot thrive and succeed as an organization. And our city needs to fix that. We need to have people who can come to the table and bring government for everyone. That starts with good fiscal responsibility. Everything we enjoy here is because we're a very wealthy city and manage our money well. We don't take on debts that we shouldn't. We balance budgets and we drive new revenues in our city to make more revenues for our future generations and our current expenses. This funds excellent schools. Our schools are already excellent, but they need help as they continue to grow and reach capacity, as they continue to have new needs, and special education continues to drive costs up and operating costs. Our teachers are working hard. Why can't we help them? Because we don't have any money. We're running out of money to help them. The council has a simple job. It's appoint good boards, approve the mayor's budget, work with the staff, appoint folks like planning and zoning, libraries, etc. It's time that we started creating communities for shopping and living that have good energy, that you want to take your family, and good synergy that work well within the infrastructure that we've given it. We also need to reinvest in communities that are aging. That cannot be our weakest link that causes us to cripple as a city as we go year to year. I hope you'll consider voting for me on August 26th. I'd love to tell you more, but it's time to get back to work. It's time to work together no matter what happens. It's time to solve problems and think about the next 50 years in Hoover. Thank you.
Thank you. We now welcome to the stage Kenneth Cox, Jr.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kenneth Cox, and I'm here today as candidate for Hoover City Council, Place 2. Hoover is more than just where I live, it's home. It's where my wife of 22 years, Dr. Alicia Ellis Cox, and I are raising our 3 children. It's where we worship, it's where we serve, and it's also where we've invested our hearts and our future. I spent my adult life committed to education, leadership, and public service. I've had the honor of serving our community as an educator, a coach, and a mentor for over 15 years at Birmingham Southern College, where I was most recently served as Associate Athletic Director and Head Cross Country and Track and Field Coach. That work has been recognized nationally, including my induction to the Birmingham Southern College Hall of Fame in 2024, after leading teams of 7 NCAA titles, over 50 All-American honors, and a record 12 consecutive NCAA indoor and outdoor championships. Beyond athletics, my focus has always been on developing leaders and investing in the community. I completed the NCAA Dr. Charles Whitcomb Leadership Institute, earned an executive MBA from Faulkner University, and received an honorary doctorate from Trinity International University of Ambassadors. I'm a proud graduate of Leadership Hoover and a recipient of the Harvey E. Beach Outstanding Young Alumni Award from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. I currently serve as chair for Leadership Hoover, secretary of the Hoover Downtown Redevelopment Authority, and sit on the board for the Hoover Parks and Rec Foundation Board. I'm also the Resource Development Chair for Boys and Girls Club of Central Alabama. And I'm also the membership chair for the 100 Black Men of America, the Birmingham chapter. As a deacon at the Worship Center Christian Church and a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, I strive to lead with faith, discipline, and service. I'm running for Hoover City Council because I believe in this city, and I believe that strong communities are built by people who are willing to listen, to serve, and lead with integrity. My vision is simple but urgent. Protect and strengthen our public schools, support and uplift our first responders, and make smart, forward-thinking investments in infrastructure that keep Hoover growing the right way. I'm not a politician. I'm a neighbor. I'm a husband. I'm a father, a servant leader committed to real results. Thank you for being here tonight, and I hope to earn both your trust and your vote on August 26th. Thank you.
Now please welcome Copeland Johnson.
Is this available to be adjusted? Hello, Hoover. My name is Copeland Johnson, and I'm campaigning for Hoover City Council Place 2. I'm also Copeland Johnson, a man who learned character, teamwork, and commitment to service in Hoover. I'm not a child, and I'm not a stranger after living here for 15 years. I am the one man you can count on to be certain is prepared to lead in this moment while standing tall for Hoover values. Why? Because my strongest credentials and morals come from within Hoover, my hometown. I give thanks to the highly qualified teachers and coaches at Berry Middle and Spring Park High School, where I received a quality education leading to academic scholarships at the University of Alabama. Roll Tide. Hoover City Schools sent me to Alabama Boys State, where the motto is "We Build Citizenship." For those who are unfamiliar with Boys State, it is a model government program, and here's a short statement on its purpose. The American Legion believes that the survival of our republic rests on training our youth in the ideals and objectives of American government. The knowledge you gain at one level is a step towards the next level. We teach the responsibilities of citizenship and the ABCs of politics and your responsibilities as a citizen and a voter. Hoover City Schools for 4 years sent me to the State House in Montgomery to practice pro-con debate and write legislation in both the House and the Senate chambers. I did well enough to be sent forward as a national representative of Alabama's youth to the Conference on National Affairs. That is what has me standing here in front of you today, prepared by Hoover to give back and serve Hoover. Residents deserve new ideas and a chance to share insight with public servants who prioritize citizen concerns enough to learn about their issues and meet in their communities outside of just in City Hall. An example of this is the stormwater issue. It was not addressed by any campaign until I brought it to the forefront. I held a stormwater town hall at the Hoover Public Library, and it was only until then that I had members of the community, even candidates, and even mayoral candidates, for that matter, to come and speak and share their insight about the ongoing issue. But now that I brought it to the forefront, I've heard it from almost every candidate up here today. I will bring action and advocacy to place 2, regardless of whether it's stormwater management, commercial blight, funding for education in the arts, or increased pedestrian and pet safety. Stretch your vote and select Copeland Johnson for Hoover City Council on August 26th. Thank you.
Now please welcome Gene Smith.
I'm going to bring this down a little bit. I'm Gene Smith. I too am running in place 2 for the Hoover City Council. I've lived in Hoover for over 55 years. I've been married to my wife Pam, sitting over here, for almost 47 years. Together we have 3 children who all graduated from Hoover City Schools and 6 grandchildren. I'm retired from the Hoover Fire Department as a captain and a licensed paramedic. I've operated family businesses for over 30 years. I operate and own a business here in Hoover since 2009. I've served on the Hoover Planning and Zoning Commission. I've previously served here in place 2 on the Hoover City Council. This immediate past term, I served as the Hoover City Council President. I was chosen by my colleagues to do that. Once placed on the council, I won't need on-the-job training. I'm going to be ready on day 1. I'm known as a fiscal conservative while strongly supporting public safety and education. I can bring to Hoover more fiscal restraint and accountability. I've made it a priority to listen to citizens' concerns, always returning phone calls, emails, or any other communications. At council meetings, especially those that I held the gavel over, citizens' questions were always answered. They deserved answers. If the answers are not known then, they should be provided to a staff member if a staff member is available and there. If not, then it should be taken at that time, given to a staff member, and then that person should contact the citizen, and then probably be reported back to the full council at the next available meeting. It is possible we could have as many as 5 new council members with no experience going into the next term. I can help steady the learning curve for many, if not any, of these new members. Even if the incumbents return, there will be at least 2 new faces should y'all choose me to go back. And I can be an experienced change agent. New members will learn from staff, but they also need to learn from others in their own accepted elected roles. I appreciate your consideration and ask for your vote on August 26th. Gene Smith, place 2. Thank you.
We'll now move on to closing statements for place 2 candidates as determined by a drawing prior to their coming on stage. That order will start with Kenneth Cox Jr.
Thank you. Tonight, I just want to thank everyone for your incredible support, being able to knock on doors, being able to interact, see so many familiar faces, and your prayers, your support, your smiles, and your encouragement just means the absolute world. In this process, I certainly have been reminded why we're chosen to do this work, and that's ultimately to serve. As I've said many times before, this is absolutely not about me. It's about serving you, the citizens of Hoover. Just like my athletes, just like their parents have entrusted me with their children and their future. I certainly ask that same support, that same prayers, and certainly that same confidence in me. I ask for you on August 26th, which is actually 4 days before my birthday, to vote for Kenneth Cox, place 2. Thank you.
We now welcome back Copeland Johnson.
All right, so once again, I'm Copeland Johnson, but my story is an authentic Hoover story. This city provided me with an amazing past and a promise of future leadership that is now due in the present. I work in Hoover, right next to Miss Durgis's Howarth Haddock Designs, but my boss is, the company that I work for is a high-end sports collectible company, but I manage the communications and social media half. But I say all that to say that my CEO is a 30-year-old. He's a graduate of Spain Park, a graduate of Alabama, and he runs a multi-million-dollar company. He hired me for communications and social media management, but this is what I'm talking about when I mention young professionals. Young professionals can work, vote, start families, and pay taxes. We are becoming the largest in the housing market. Our children will be the significant majority of the school population, and we have 40 years of earning and spending potential. That's talking about what are we going to use to push the economy forward. It's my generation. Everything points back to my generation, and so I'm a proactive choice towards incorporating the next generation. There are no council members under the age of 30. So what I hope to bring to the city is to keep innovation, competitiveness, and attractiveness to young professionals. It is time to let me serve. I'm only one example of a highly productive Gen Z person stemming directly from Hoover. I'm campaigning for place 2 to fill the missing link that disconnects Hoover's government from the generation of thinkers and achievers that Hoover is in competition to attract. I ask you all to once again stretch your vote, go the extra mile, and vote Copeland Johnson on August 26th. Thank you.
Now welcome back Clint Bircheat.
Thank you. All right, so I had a nice little 2-minute dilly set up, but it's just come to my thoughts that I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed that God's given me talents and abilities to work with incredible people and solve things. I'm incredible to be a son of a single mother who grew up here in Birmingham. I'm grateful to have been a product of UAB and also go to classes in this building as Jeff State. I have 4 wonderful children who are one going into as a freshman in Hoover, another is a 6th grader at Bumpus, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and a wonderful wife who immigrated to this country here with her 2 sisters. And I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity just to be in this community in the most wonderful country in the planet. I've been to a lot of countries. I can tell you that Tonight, you're gonna hear a lot of talk, even I'm talking. But you gotta ask yourself, who's gonna get things done? I'm tired of seeing things not get done. And in my job, I'm the head of information security for one of Alabama's largest healthcare companies. I've worked with large companies as both a consultant and as a head of cybersecurity, information security. We get things done because we have to. If we don't, our companies are at risk, our customers are at risk, possibly national security at risk. We have to get things done, and I take that seriously every day working with my team. Ask yourself, among these 14 people running and the 2 for mayor, who can bring excellence to Hoover? Vote for those people. I hope you'll give me that vote. And I want government to be for all, not just some. I want us all to be represented, and I want it to be done well. I've taken no money from anyone. I've asked for no money from anyone. I don't want any money from anyone for this campaign. I'm asking you to believe me that this is an act of service to my city. And the $28,800 that you get paid in 4 years, which isn't a lot, every penny of it will go back to worthwhile causes. That's not something you've heard from any candidate. And if you hear it after this, it's because they're copying it. I don't want the money. I don't want the notoriety. I just want to serve our city and create a wonderful place to call home for the rest of my life, for generations to come, for my 4 children, and for all of us who call this wonderful place home in Hoover. God bless you, and thank you.
And now we welcome back Gene Smith.
Thank you again. I believe in keeping level playing fields. Everyone should be represented within our city government, whether you're a Gen Z or whether you're 110 years old. We've got them from one end to the other. I have represented the entire gamut in my past. I'm not running in anyone else's race but my own. Hoover needs one council member who remembers how Hoover got to where we are. What promises have been made to residents over the decades? No one else in place 2 can fill those obligations other than myself. I know, I grew up here. I worked for the city. I watched what promises were made. I know what promises have not been kept. I am the only one running in place 2 that can bring the most benefit to the city, its citizens, the mayor, and those serving with me. Experience matters now more than ever. I ask for your vote on August 26th. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our place 2 candidates. If I mess up no more names and don't feel as short as I just did, then I'll consider it a win the rest of the night. All right, let's welcome our place 3 candidates to the stage at this time. We'll begin our opening statements for place 3 with Liz Lane.
Thank you so much for coming tonight. My name is Liz Lane. I'm a mom, I'm a small business owner, and I am a full-time artist. I am very new to politics, but I don't know if you guys remember Nickelodeon and Nick News with Linda Ellerby, but I started watching that show when I was 10 years old, and ever since, I wanted to be an advocate. I live by the motto, think global, act local. And I am so glad that Hoover is my local. This community is amazing. I have neighbors and friends that knew that this week was going to be difficult with all the campaigning and kids not being quite back in school yet. And so one neighbor in particular brought me casseroles this week. She is a pediatric ER doctor, and I feel like I should be the one that's bringing her casseroles. But I have to say, these are the kind of neighbors that we have been accustomed to living in Hoover. In this small town, big city. My platform is different. I am an artist, and so what I can provide to the city is a little bit different than everyone else. I have been door knocking, and what I have heard from people that I go and talk to, is that everyone feels like their community is getting a little bit smaller, like it's shrinking. And I know that something that is essential for cities to preserve their vibrance is to create more third spaces. One way that Hoover can do this is by using the $17 million that they are sitting on, have been sitting on for the past 3 years to build an art center. This would be a great community space that would not only encourage the arts, but would encourage community, would encourage us to come together. Art is great for art's sake, but it also improves test scores, decreases crime, improves mental health, and raises property values. We need to take cues from cities like Nashville. I was just there for an art show, and they have murals and quotes on the sidewalks and live music everywhere. And this not only increases the city's vibrancy, but it supports small businesses. And small businesses are essential. They're the backbone for a community. We have empty buildings and office spaces and struggling retail in Hoover, Alabama, and we should do everything in our ability to preserve and protect small businesses because they provide the funding for the schools and the libraries and the police and the fire department. We cannot neglect them. My name is Liz Lane. I'm running for seat 3, and I'll add more in my closing statement because I think I'm out of time. Thank you so much.
Now welcome Ashley Lovell.
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for having us. My name is Ashley Lovell, and I'm running for Hoover City Council, Place 3. I have a question for you all. Have you ever experienced an issue in your life or something that took place that compelled you to take action? If so, you and I have something in common. Last October, my community experienced a development issue in Tattersall Park. I spearheaded a petition that garnered almost 3,000 signatures as well as over 500 survey responses. I took that information to the city council president and I could not get a phone call back. We need leadership that listens to the residents. That's why on January 27th, I announced that I was running not only for Hoover City Council, but also specifically for Place 3. I am prepared to take action. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of information about me. I moved to Hoover in 1999, and I am a proud product of Hoover City Schools, as well as Hoover City. I went to Rocky Ridge Elementary School, Berry Middle School, and Spain Park High School, where I played golf and basketball. Go Jags. I then went to Birmingham Southern College, where I majored in biology and I minored in business, and I was captain of the women's golf team. I was later inducted into the Birmingham Southern Athletics Hall of Fame. From there, I started my career. I took a job as a sales rep with a company called Lincare. We are a national provider of respiratory products in the home. We have about 700 locations, as well as almost 2 million patients. And I'm happy to say that after 14 years of working for Lincare, I'm now the senior manager of sales and marketing for the organization. I'm also a proud mom of 2, and I consider it my greatest joy. And I look forward to seeing them make their journey through the Hoover City school systems. I believe that we can make a stronger Hoover together by focusing on 3 key priorities: transparency and accountability, because Hoover residents deserve to know what's going on in their city leadership; smart development, because the decisions that we make now will impact us now and for generations to come; as well as continued funding for strong schools and safety, because at the heart of Hoover is family. Thank you so much.
Now please welcome Robert Williams.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation to be here. I'm not a politician, and I didn't write a speech that I could read to you. I'm a lawyer, I'm a realtor, I'm a husband of 41 years. My wife said if I called her out tonight and pointed her out, she would kill me. I'm a proud resident of Hoover. Over the number of years that I have been a professional, I've had the opportunity to work with people in two of their most significant times, buying and selling a house and defending themselves in a lawsuit, particularly doctors. I defended doctors in hospitals for almost 40 years. I think that what we have to do here in Hoover is uniquely in my wheelhouse. Because most of the things that come before the city council involve real estate or law or both. There are no realtors on the city council. There are no other realtors running for city council. One of the problems that the realtors complain about within the community is they do not have a seat at the table. When the developments are developed, they're not given any information, they're not asked any questions, and so it goes on without them. And that's not a good thing. Everybody needs to be included in those decisions. My platform involves 3 pillars: smart growth, safety, and fiscal responsibility. Hoover is growing, and that's good. There's nothing wrong with growth. But we need to make sure that we don't outgrow our infrastructure, that our schools, our roads, our parks are taken care of. Hoover is one of the safest places in the state of Alabama and one of the most livable in the country. We need to keep it that way. And the city council needs to make sure that they fund the projects that will cause that to continue. Fiscal responsibility and transparency, that's a big one that everybody wants to talk about. Well, we've got to take care of it. And everybody needs to understand that it's the city council that has to approve the money. Without the city council's approval, there is no money. The mayors are important, no question about that. But it's the city council that's going to have to be fiscally responsible and make sure that the money that is spent, and the tax dollars are money out of your pocket, and we need to know where that money is going. Thank you.
We now move on to our closing statements for place 3, and we'll start with Ashley Lovell.
So why am I a good fit for the Hoover City Council? My plans are not to become a career politician. I'm stepping up as a concerned resident of Hoover who cares about the city of Hoover, who cares about the residents of Hoover, and cares about the future of Hoover for my children. When my community experienced development concerns with Tattersall, I took action. With the petition and with the community survey, I'm a proven leader. I believe that leadership is not about titles, it's about teamwork, it's about trust, and it's about results. Why am I a unique candidate? Well, I'm a product of the Hoover City Schools and a product of Hoover City on one end. And on the other side, I'm a resident of Hoover. I live, I work in Hoover, and I'm raising my family in Hoover. I also believe that my success in my athletic career in college, as well as my growth and leadership professionally, as well as my relentless pursuit to be the best mom that I can be for my children. I believe that I am poised and I am ready to represent the residents of Hoover. And most importantly, I am ready to serve. So I hope that I can earn your vote on August 26th, and I believe that we can build a better Hoover together by focusing on transparency and accountability, smart development, strong schools and safety, and leadership that listens. This is our Hoover. Let's build a stronger Hoover together. Thank you.
Liz Lane.
Y'all, I got a C in public speaking from the University of Alabama, but that is not why I'm here. I am here because I am a mom of 2 elementary school girls that go to Deer Valley Elementary School, and I am a concerned Hoover resident, and I want to be the best neighbor that I can be. None of what we've been talking about today would be possible if we do not pay attention to the environmental risks that our city is facing. We have some serious flooding issues, and our homes and our streets should not flood. So instead of the city litigating against the residents of Hoover, the city needs to use its resources to plan, act, and support our changing floodplains and our increased development. Our city must realize that storms are going to be worse, and not only should we fix what's broken, but we must strategize for the future so that our kids, like my little girls, can have a brighter future here in Hoover. I know that everything is holistically connected: the arts, small business, the environment, and if elected, I promise to be a leader that will listen to the citizens and use what I'm hearing to develop a plan to make Hoover the best, most vibrant city that it can be. My name is Liz Lane. I'm running in seat 3, and I hope to have your vote August 26th. Thanks so much.
I'll welcome back Robert Williams.
Do any of you have any idea what it means to ask a lawyer to talk for 5 minutes and quit? I didn't until I got into this. I'm not a politician. I'm not used to this type of thing. But what I can tell you is that I honestly believe that my background and experience in the law and real estate is something that I can offer to the city of Hoover. This is not something that I spent my whole life wanting to do. It's something that I felt called to do because I believe that Hoover needs a change. We need someone on the council who will listen, who will analyze the issues, and will act accordingly. And that's what I've done in the law for almost 40 years. So on August 26th, I'm asking for your vote. I'm also asking for your trust. But beyond that, I'm asking for you to partner with me to make Hoover better, stronger, and more reliable for all of the residents. I'm Robert Williams, running for place 3. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our place 3 candidates and for your interest in representing the city of Hoover. We will now invite the candidates running for place 4 to the stage. We will begin our opening statements with Christian Copeland.
Hey y'all, my name is Christian Coleman. I'm running for place 4. I grew up in Vestavia, not Hoover, and I was on the track team at Vestavia, so I beat a lot of kids from Hoover and Spain Park. So I don't want you to hold that against me because it was like really a lot. I was very good. I want voters to know that. I have a bachelor's from Alabama and a master's from the University of New Orleans. And I met my wife in New Orleans, and I convinced her when we had our first kid, I said, we gotta come back to be close to my parents. And I said, but not Vestavia. This time I wanna be in Hoover. I wanna be where more opportunity is. And around the same time, I joined the Air National Guard. And a couple years later, the hardest thing I've ever had to do as a dad is I had to tell my 5-year-old and my 2-year-old that I was deployed, that daddy was going away, and I was gonna miss all of kindergarten. And I was really worried that for the second time in 5 years, I was gonna have to mail my daughter her birthday present, because I was gonna miss her birthday again. But luckily, I made it back in time, so she's got a plushy camel. But that taught me about service, right? That taught me about, because service is about sacrifice, right? If it doesn't cost you anything, then it's, you know, it's nice to do, but it's not sacrifice. And so I had to walk away from my family to serve something bigger than me. I had to serve the United States. And now I want to serve the city of Hoover with the same amount of energy and the same amount of sacrifice, and hopefully it's not going to be as high as the rest. And I think there will be our city employees last year got a cost of living adjustment of 1.5%. And if inflation is 4%, that is a 2.5% pay cut. And the city of Hoover employees do an incredible job with our parks and with city inspections, and they do not deserve a pay cut. They deserve to be paid what they're owed. I also believe we should divide Hoover into districts. Right, there's 15 people, I believe, running. Do you have 15 strong opinions? Like, it's a bit much. So I think that we should deal with neighborhoods as distinct and units, and the people who live in them represent the neighborhoods where they live. And it will simplify it for voters. Christian Coleman, place 4.
Please welcome Christy Driver.
Good evening. I am a bit surprised to be with you here tonight. So one of the roles that I serve currently as part of the Hoover City Council is that I'm also on Planning and Zoning Commission, and our meeting was tonight. But we got finished in time and I made it here. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to the Hoover Area Chamber of Commerce and the Shelby County Chamber and the Shelby County Newsmedia for putting this event together, but also being willing to read a little statement for me that I had prepared in case I didn't make it. I'm Christy Driver. I am currently sitting in place 4 on the Hoover City Council. I am a mother, a lawyer, a business executive, and a servant of this community for over 20 years. So I started out serving in Hoover after my family and I moved here 20 years ago because we wanted our children to attend the Hoover City Schools. My son Stephen graduated in 2023 from Hoover High School and is now a student at Troy University. My daughter Sophia went through Trace Crossings Elementary and Bumpus Middle School, and then she was able to audition and go to the Alabama School of Fine Arts, where she is entering the 10th grade. I love Hoover. It has been a very welcoming city to me. I was born and raised in Blount County, Alabama. I'm a country girl at heart. I come from a blue-collar family, and I was the first in my family to get the opportunity to go to college. Because of that, I bring a certain kind of work ethic that I think permeates everything that I do. And I am very honored to serve in the role that I do on the Hoover City Council. So I've only been in this role for 2 years. Mike Shaw was elected to the state legislature in November of 2022, and the Hoover City Council appointed me to take his spot, and so I have served out the rest of his term. And so, unlike everybody else you've heard from tonight so far, I've had the actual opportunity to try out the job, and I've learned a lot. And I'll say hats off to everybody who is willing to do this, because it is not easy. It is many times thankless, but it is really a privilege to get to do it. So how have I served in Hoover before I got on the Hoover City Council? I was the Hoover City Council, the Hoover City Schools Foundation president. Then I was on the Hoover Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. I served on the Leadership Hoover Board of Directors, and also I can't remember the other one. It just ran right out of my head when I saw the time sign. I'll tell you more in a few minutes when I get to do closing statement. Thank you.
Now welcome Donna Missouri.
Thank you for having me. I was on the city council 20 years ago. I believe the council that we had was the most transparent council that we ever had. The reason I'm running again is because it saddens me to see what's happening with the city of Hoover. Residents get up to speak, they are ignored. Their questions are never answered, and it's like you're just standing there and talking to a wall. When I was on the city council, we had a department head for every city council meeting, so that if the council didn't have the answer, we would ask the department head to answer the residents. You deserve to be answered. You put us there. You deserve an answer from us. Another thing that I'm having a problem with is the money that's being spent. I graduated from City College of New York with a degree in accounting. When I see what's happening here, and no one knows, do you people know that we paid the Internal Revenue Service $400,000 of your money because they sent us the things that were wrong and they were ignored. They were put in a drawer until we got fined $400,000. Do you people know that there is a building in River Chase with no one in it? We are paying $17 million of your money over the next 10 years for this building that no one is in, but Hoover is maintaining it. Why? Because a lease came across our mayor's desk and he never read it, but he signed it. And he admitted to this in the newspaper. He did not read it, but it's your money. There's something wrong, people. There's no accountability. There's no transparency. I was very proud to serve on the council in 2000. And I would like to have your vote again on August 26th. Thank you.
We now move on to our closing statements for place 4, and we start with Christy Driver.
Hello again. Talk a little faster this time because I do want to get to talking about my platform a little bit. The Downtown Redevelopment Authority was the thing that I forgot when I was up here before. Doesn't matter. The point is that I love serving this community and my heart is in it and I want to continue to do that with you. Safety first. So there's nothing more important in our city than public safety. I commit to continuing to fully fund public safety. That's police, fire, and our excellent 911 communications center and staff. I also think that we need some room for improvement in an area of infrastructure planning. So one thing that I've noticed in my time on the city council is that there doesn't seem to be enough of a long-term strategic plan when it comes to certain areas of infrastructure, including stormwater, sewer, and roads. And so what I would like to see evidence of is more long-term planning of that, and I want to be a part of that on the city council. Third, I would say economic vitality. So the city council, as someone says, holds the purse strings. one of the things that we can do to encourage development is to use our incentive power to encourage the type of development that we want to see in Hoover. So I think it's really important for the Hoover City Council, as we work together as a team, to encourage the redevelopment of our spaces that need redevelopment. That's not to say there's anything wrong with new development, but that is going to occur whether we incentivize it or not. And I think it's incredibly important for us to focus more of our dollars, more of our incentives on drawing businesses into places that need to have attention. And finally, I'll say quality of life. I already mentioned the schools. I care very much about the schools. We have to keep our school funding strong. We have to keep our schools excellent, because the number one reason that people move here is for safety in the schools. Thank you so much, and I hope to have your vote on August 26th.
Now we welcome back Donna Missouri.
There's just two things that are really important to me, and that's our stormwater problem. You cannot tell your residents, we don't pay for it. We have to help them. These are residents that put us in office, and we deserve to help them. They are having a terrible problem every time it rains. The council has to help them. The city has to help them. The next thing I just want to say, when I was on the council, we gave the school system 7% of our sales tax revenue. After, in 2004, the next council and the mayor rescinded that money. And they've never gotten another penny from the city. That's not right. This is our school system. I was on the steering committee to start the Hoover school system. And we're just letting it go. It used to be one of the best schools in the state. We have dropped far down. They need help, and the city council should be the people who help them, and not rescind, since 2004, the money for our school system. They deserve it, we deserve it, and our children deserve it. Thank you very much. I would be honored to get your vote on August 26th. Donna Mazer, place 4. Thank you.
Now please welcome back Christian Cole.
One more. Far too often, people will have problems that they need the city to solve, and they find that the city is actually an adversary. The city treats them as if they are an enemy. And the people of Hoover deserve a city government that will go through hell and high water for them. And the heat index is 109, and water is coming in people's houses. That is hell and high water. And Clint held up Thomas Paine, Common Sense. Yeah, no, I'm going to a different Thomas Paine. This is the American crisis. Thomas Paine said this is no time for summer soldiers or sunshine patriots. Well, it is raining more than ever, and we currently have sunshine patriots. Okay? I am not one of those. I love this place even when the rain falls and the water rises. And I am committed to finding a solution to stormwater. Not finding an excuse why the city doesn't have to pay for it, or finding some way to pass the buck, a solution. So, if you elect me to serve, I will do the very best I can, God willing. But the creek is already rising.
Thank you to all of our place 4 candidates. Now let me invite the candidates running for place 5 to come to the stage. We'll begin our opening statement with Steve Lawrence.
Quick show of hands, how many people have heard of the Facebook group Hoover News and Information? All right, so I started that group in 2018 when there was a shooting at the River Chase Galleria. There was protests all over the city, and there was people that were looking for information. So Steve McClinton helped me when we started, and now it's up to 7,300 members. So it's been amazing for us to learn what's going on, hear gripes, hear a bunch of stuff, and also praises as well. But a little bit about myself. I'm a lifelong Hoover resident. I've been married 25 years. My wife and I grew up in the same neighborhood. We have 3 kids. My youngest daughter is a junior at Hoover High School. So what I do for a living is commercial insurance. I'm a commercial insurance broker, and I also do risk management. I've spent 30 years working with CEOs, CFOs, presidents of companies, business owners, basically all across the country, managing their risk, learning how they make money, and basically solving problems. Small problems become big problems when you don't take care of the small problems, okay? So when I decided to run for, my campaign slogan is protecting what works, improving what matters. In the city, we have a great police department, we have a great fire department, and we have great schools. Our school system needs more funding. So improving what works, the biggest issue that I see is transparency and accountability. And what do I mean by that? When we look, the city does have, we earn an excellence in financial reporting. But the problem with that is we fail in financial communication. Nobody's delivering the stuff that you need to learn, right? So what I mean by that is 10 months after the fiscal year end, we do the annual comprehensive financial plan. It's almost the end of 2025. We don't get the information on a timely basis. It's stale. It's old, right? So what the city needs to do is bring in a software program that other major cities are doing, like Columbus, Ohio, that can manage, put everything together, and also use what's called XBRL, which is what the federal government uses and publicly traded companies use, that basically it makes our documents machine readable. It's so crucial because if we do that, here's how it helps us from a transparency standpoint. Suppose the city council approves $800,000 for the Hoover Randall home, which I don't remember the exact amount. Imagine going on the website, typing in, hey, give me an update on the Hoover Randall home renovation. And it shows the budget, $800,000, when it was approved, and then shows $300,000 was spent, what roofing contractor did the work, when it started, when it began, and how much is left in that budget. That's real-time data analytics for residents to see, for the city council to have, where you can basically make informed decisions. So that's what I'm running for. We need better reporting. My name is Steve Lawrence. I'm running for place 5. Thank you.
Now welcome Bailey Murphy, who will be representing her father, Derek Murphy, who had a conflict. She will share his opening statement, and then when she has finished, we'll move on to our closing statements after that.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bailey Murphy. Today I am here on the behalf of my father, Derek Murphy, due to a prior commitment that he could not reschedule. When I asked him, "Who are you sitting in your place?" he said, "You." I asked, "Why me?" He said, "Because you have lived this journey with me and seen what it takes to serve a community." For nearly 9 years, I've had a front row seat to watching my father serve this great city of Hoover, not just from a council seat, but through dedication, sacrifice, and heart. My father was raised by his grandparents, born in 1917 and 1927. From them, he learned the values that he passed down to me and my siblings. Take care of your responsibilities, be bold, be committed, love God, love our country, and love our community. Because a city isn't its buildings, it's its people. That's the ideal that led him to serve. From his very first appointment on the Board of Zoning Adjustments to serving on the Hoover School Board and as its president. My father never chased titles. He chased impact. That's why he started the Hoover City Dad Brigade, bringing over 5,000 volunteers for the past 10 years to take care of our schools. He also worked to create RC3, our vocational program, because he knew not every student's path was college, but every student deserved an opportunity to succeed. On the City Council, my father has restored funding to our schools and has served as the Public Safety Chair. But I will never forget how he led during the 2019 mall shooting protests, calming tensions, bringing people together, even when protesters came to our own home saying unwarranted words that no child should hear about their father. He never wavered, even when it was hard. As an engineer, his current mission is clear, making sure Hoover's infrastructure keeps pace with our growth. Roads, bridges, utilities, these are the foundations of a sustainable Hoover, for our children and for our grandchildren. That's why, on August 26th, I'm asking you to re-elect Derek M. Murphy for Hoover City Council, Place 5. God bless you. God bless Hoover. God bless the state of Alabama. God bless the United States of America. And go Bucks, go Jags.
Now we go on to closing statements, and we start with Steve Lawrence.
So, that's why I'm coming right back up. 2 minutes. So look, when you drive around Hoover, this is what I'm saying. I'm seeing a city that's got vacant businesses everywhere. We're losing. We're getting our butt kicked. I went and met with a long-time State Hill City Council member to ask him, what is it, how is it you guys continually, I'm looking, you've got redevelopment happening all over the place, you got businesses filling up. And even in Birmingham on the east side, near Greystone, whether it's Chelsea, Homewood, Vestavia, places all the way around, we've got to do something from a business standpoint. So the issue that talking with business owners, they're saying, hey, the ordinances that we go through, it's not efficient. There used to be, for example, in the Public Works building, where a business guy could come in, get a permit, and buy a business license, but the revenue department was actually moved back to City Hall, so now they got to make 2 trips. It's things like that. So one of the things I did to learn more about the ordinances and laws is I went and got the certified planning and zoning official. There's a lot of cities around the southeast that serve on the planning and zoning that require that to be done. So I wanted to learn more about that process. I went and got the certification. But data analytics, financial reporting, we've got to start winning. Costco just announced they're building a new Costco, $105 million project down off Grantsville Road 459. Folks, Galleria and Costco is our #1 sales tax generator. We've got to start winning. We are so reliant on sales tax. If we don't start redeveloping properties and doing something, the city's going to be in bad shape. So vote for me. I'm pro-business. I want to start winning. I do pay attention. I love data analytics. We have to have good information to make great decisions. If you like what I have to say, please vote for me. I humbly ask for your vote. Steve Lawrence, Place 5. Thank you.
Welcome back, Ms. Murphy.
On Tuesday, August 26th, voters have a choice rooted in trust and experience. My father, Derek Murphy, has been trusted by the community and beyond. He was recommended by former Mayor Tony Paletas to serve on the Board of Zoning Adjustments. And he was trusted by the Hoover school system, where he served on the school board and as president. He's been trusted by his peers across Alabama, serving on the Alabama Association of Boards, School Boards Advisory Committee. Even at state level, he was trusted to serve on the Alabama's Dam Safety Technical Committee. Trust matters, experience matters. And in a city like Hoover that continues to grow, it matters even more. My father has spent his career as an engineer working to ensure infrastructure keeps up, not just for our residents, but for the thousands who visit, work, and invest in Hoover every single day. This election is about ensuring Hoover's future is built on a strong foundation.
My father is a man who is trusted, a man who is committed, and a man with the experience to lead Hoover forward. Not just for me as a recent Hoover High valedictorian graduate, but for the next generation of Hoover families. Thank you. Vote to re-elect Derek N. Murphy, Hoover City Council, Place 5 on August 26th.
Thank you to both of our representatives for Place 5. And that now concludes the City Council portion of our forum this evening. Now let me invite the two candidates for mayor of the city of Hoover,